Wonderful, fantastic Friday. We made it to the end of a work week. For some of us have to work Saturdays, but still, it's January 26th and it's time for an after work, after school, past afternoon, early evening book. And we're celebrating our African American men. Yes, we learned about Charles Drew and John Robinson and Gordon Parks, Jacob Lawrence. Now, when I tell you this is my favorite African American artist, I just want to show you that Jacob Lawrence has had such an impact on my life. The type of art, some of these figures here, they're Jacob Lawrence inspired. If you can, yeah. Oh, that's my boy. Harlem Renaissance, New York. And his wife, a model. Okay. Oh, this is making my day. Oh, this is beautiful. He's a painter. He's a great painter. Oh, can you see? Can I see? Oh, this is his election. No. This is the Great Migration series right here, right? Where so many people moved north from south. And this is still the migration series, like loading on the train. But do you see how those figures, they're faceless? And all right, let's go on. Jacob and his mother, and he lived between 1917 and 2000. 83 years. Yeah. Jacob and his mother arrived in the Harlem neighborhood of New York City in 1930. They were part of a historic migration of Black Americans moving from the South to the North in search of opportunities, stable jobs, and better living conditions. In the North, there were opportunities for Black people, even in the arts. Sure enough, that work progress, that federal program. Anyway, sensing her 13-year-old son's energy and creativity, Jacob's mother enrolled him in an after-school art program. He was already so skillful that his instructors just wanted to let him paint. Look at this. Jacob is often associated with the Harlem Renaissance, but in his closing years, he was still a kid. Well, no, in its closing years, the Harlem Renaissance, he was still a kid. Although he was not part of the movement's group of artists and thinkers, some of them were his teachers. Charles Austin and Augusta Savage mentored him in art, and historian Charles Seifert encouraged him to explore Black history. Jacob combined his graphic and modern painting style with his newfound appreciation for history and began a series of biographical works. In 1938, at the age of 21, he finished his first notable collection, a 41-piece series chronicling the life and accomplishments of the Haitian leader Toussaint Louverture. As at a time before Black history was widely celebrated, Jacob made a conscious effort to bring the name of Toussaint into the mainstream. He went on to paint other historic figures, including Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass. Beautiful collection. His most famous work was a series recounting the African American journey from the South to the North, like the experience he and his mother had gone through, the migration series. How many panels were there? Almost 60? Was a 60-panel masterpiece that catapulted Jacob into the artistic spotlight. Jacob didn't love all the attention. He felt guilty that he eclipsed his mentors like Augusta and Charles, so humble, and dedicated the rest of his life to making art and mentoring young artists. He is remembered for his use of art to examine and capture the experiences of African Americans and their everyday struggles. When I tell you, he is my all-time favorite. All right, thank you. Oh, now this is someone I never heard of. A filmmaker, Osmane Simbini. Osmani Simbini. Who would have guessed that this son of a fisherman would one day become known as the father of African cinema? How about this? Raised in Senegal by his grandmother, an oral storyteller, Osmane developed a love for stories early on. His journey to filmmaking, though, would take him to several different countries over many years. Osmane began working at a young age doing hard labor as a bricklayer and dock worker. He witnessed firsthand the struggles of his people. Participating in the union strike, he saw the impact an educated and united group could have on a powerful institution, something he would bring to his filmmaking. In 1947, while working as a labor organizer and longshoreman in France, Osmane broke his back carrying a heavy load. As he recovered, he spent long hours in the library where he found revolutionary writers and thinkers from around the globe, except for Africa. Osmane decided he needed to share the stories of Africans, so he started writing. He published several books depicting the lives of Senegalese people, revealing corruption in the government, and calling for social change. But as Osmane traveled through West Africa, he noticed that although many people did not read, they did go to the movies, so he decided to switch to filmmaking. He hit the ground running with his first feature, La Noire Day, back in 1966, which debuted at the Cannes Film Festival, one of the top festivals in the world. His next film, Mandabi, 1968, was the first movie in the indigenous Wolof language instead of French, which was dominant in pre-1960 colonial 1960 Senegal, pre-1960. Osmane's films angered those in power, but he wanted to get their attention by speaking up for regular people. Despite his films being censored in his country, Osmane stayed true to his beliefs and vision, creating a uniquely African style of filmmaking inspired by oral storytelling. He put African film on the map and is celebrated around the world for giving a voice to the people and cultures of the continent. Isn't that wonderful? We have two creatives that we just delved into, Jacob Lawrence and Osmane Simbini. And he was born 1923 and just passed in 2007. So I don't know. Everybody has some measure of creativity within them. Maybe you're not like Osmane and you write stories, but if you hear stories and you replicate them and tell them to someone else, you have the storytelling ability. Now just write them down and maybe come up with, I don't know, a play, a production. And the same thing for artwork, painting. Jacob Lawrence is, like I said, they're simple geometric block shapes in a way. They're faceless, so you don't have to worry about the detail. So you don't have to be a prolific artist to participate. Just be willing. Pick up an instrument, pick up paintbrush, pencil, something, violin. Just start tinkering, and you could see that that gift is lying perhaps dormant, or it's resident. You know, it's just there. And you just waking it up. And I have my little school bus necklace on because I like to take children all over the world to explore and to see what's really in there. Yeah, you see that heart. And to stop the violence. We're thinking about the family of those two young men who were shot senselessly. High school young men right there downtown State Street. That's what I'm saying. Children need to see the wealth and the value that is within them, value lives and each other. They don't have time for that madness. That's not who we are. All right. Have a good day. Enjoy. Take it easy.